Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with Karl Sanders from Nile. It's a real honor and pleasure to be talking guitar stuff with you today, man.
Thank you, Drew. I really love your channel, man. You've got some great guitar videos going on. Yeah, kudos, dude.
Thank you. You're very kind. Well, I've got a bunch of questions related to upcoming Nile tours and the newest record, The Underworld Awaits Us All, and kind of the more specific guitar stuff. I know people ask you kind of a lot about the musician lifestyle, and that's great. I love those interviews. I've watched all of them, of the more recent interviews, and I want to kind of get into the weeds on playing. So
I'm with you, man. I'm a player. That other stuff, I would rather be playing guitar and shut the fuck up.
Amen, dude. Love that. So over the last few days, I've been. Oh, that sounds nice. I've been working on chapter for Not Being Hung Upside Down and Made to Eat Feces by the Four Apes. Is that the whole thing? Is that the?
That was pretty
almost
fucking close. So
okay.
We'll give it a pass.
Okay, yeah. Sweet, man. Killer song. What I love about this song is the chord stabs that you guys do, and like the 7/4 riff is really cool in this song. And what's interesting to me about this tune is it's a lot of the same riffs repeating, but they never come back around quite the same way, and that's what makes it so damn tricky, you know. So when you're kind of putting riffs like this in a song together, does it just kind of flow naturally? Like, oh, this should be this long and this feels right? Or how did you kind of come up with the full construction of this piece?
Well, this one benefits from like everything since, I guess, like after Those Whom the Gods Detest. So when I switched over from writing songs with Sonar and became a Cubase guy, which is a funny story all in itself, but that's not relevant to the point. But Cubase has a feature called the Arranger. Right? I don't know if you've ever delved into the Arranger function in Cubase.
A little bit with the chord generator thing that you can do with, that's something different, the Arranger. Okay,
dude. Yeah, some other time, like if you want, I'll give you a lesson on how to use the Arranger to write mad impossible riffs, because it lets you define sections and then redefine them. Like you can draw as many variations of an idea. You know, the computer doesn't care how many there are. So, right. Like, if you've got 10 possible ways you might want to do that riff, you can lay them all out super easy. Instead of having to take sections in your DAW and paste this over here and copy that over there and chop this, stick it there, and do all this fucking kung fu, the Arranger does all the hard work. You just draw the thing you wanted to do, and it goes.
Whoa! Wow!
Bruce Lee fucking shit. Right? It's the Bruce Lee of DAW functions.
Wow! Yeah, I didn't realize how involved the computer was in your writing, and I would love to take a future lesson with you, looking at that, how you do that, because like to like double your capabilities by using the power of like software, you know, I'm all about that. You know, sometimes you can't see the bigger picture until it's in the computer.
You get so caught up in like the mundanities of, okay, copy this, paste it there. Oh no, that didn't sound good. Then you move it back. Yeah, I used to drive myself into an insane rabbit hole just because the software made writing tricky songs painful. But with the Arranger, making tricky arrangements isn't painful. You could do whatever you want. Stuff that would normally take you, I don't know, 3 or 4 months working in Reaper or Pro Tools or whatever. Blink of an eye.
Wow.
As fast as you can think about it, you can rearrange your song. So that makes you go, well, now I'm looking at the holistic sense of the song. Like, does this do something positive for the song, right? Am I getting bored? Is it time to do something else? Maybe we should have done this other thing, right? Instead of agonizing over the awfulness of it, you can just go, well, let's see. Bing. If you like it, great. If not, it only cost you 2 seconds to try that idea. So it's on, right? What would have taken months? Seconds.
That's amazing. So you're saying like around 2009, 2010, when you switched over to Cubase, you started using that feature in Cubase for Nile tunes.
Now, yeah, sometime around in there. Before then, it was agonizing, dude. Some of those time changes in Nile music are a bitch to work out on your DAW.
Right. 100%.
So instead of tearing my hair out fighting with my DAW, now I'm just playing shit. And if I like it, great. If not, well, let's play something else.
Yeah, fascinating, man. Yeah, I need to tap into that. That sounds really useful.
I think anything that you can do that puts more time with the guitar in your hands and less time on the DAW is good for your soul and good for your music.
I agree with that.
Better for your listeners, right? If you don't lose your mind arguing with your DAW.
Yeah. That's always kind of guitar. Yeah, that's always been my goal is like, do I want to be a producer, that like someone that's playing around with knobs and playing with computers, which I love computers. No, don't get me wrong, but that what you just described has been kind of in the back of my mind for metal creation. I want to create things on the instrument, and usually what I do is it's I write a riff and then it's in the DAW, and then I'm thinking about the next riff and the next riff, and then I may move some things around, but I typically don't do that. And I think what you've just described would probably help my process a lot and help me write more interesting stuff.
This lets you just play the riff, get the riff, and when you're in the proper frame of mind to look at the whole song, do the arrangement voodoo. It's really helped my sanity for sure.
Very cool, man. Well, if you don't mind, I'd like to play this song for you. Try to just get it over with, because okay. I'm a little nervous playing for the mighty Karl Sanders, a song that you've written. If it helps,
I'll close my eyes.
You don't need to do that. No, I want you to look at my playing. I'm going to move this over to the other screen just for a moment, and now I've got the tab open, which you painstakingly tabbed this out yourself, if I'm not mistaken, or did someone else transcribe the Sheet Happens?
Someone else transcribed it, but okay. I was right there. We were like, nah, man, it goes like this. Like, we went back and forth for months.
Yeah.
Getting it right. So, yeah.
Cool. Well, here's Chapter, and I'm just gonna send it, man. That's
all right,
the only way.
Go for it. Don't worry about me, dude.
Okay, cool. Here we go. hardest part right here. There we go. Oh man,
not bad, dude. That was, I'm sure, a lot of work. So fuck yeah, dude.
thanks. Oh, those chords really get me. Are you down picking those chords like the when you play that?
Well, let's see. Yeah, you go boink.
Yeah.
Different fingering on the 7th string. Let me grab my 6th string.
Oh, for sure. Oh man, those guitars are so sick. I really want the Gate of Sethu, man. At some point, what a killer axe! My God,
They sold out of those things. Yeah, they did the run, and people ask them for more. But you know, so yeah, when you go, and it's easier to play, right? If you grab this one with your first finger.
oh, instead of the finger shift like I was doing.
Because you're just dropping your pinky and your ring finger down to get the flat 5 and the 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now the higher up one, you're just going like that?
Oh, it goes. Here, let me put you on the camera here. Boink.
Yeah. Gotcha. And then the other one though, are you playing that one with your second finger where it goes down the half step to the 6th fret? Like it's all.
I keep it the same so that when you're singing, you don't have to think about having to do too many finger shifts while you're trying to sing and play in time. So when we're down here, which is kind of like a Nile thing that is in a lot of Nile songs, where I'm playing the root, the 5th, and the octave.
Yeah.
With that finger, and these ones. We get, different polychord stacks, right? By just move these 2 fingers around, or this chord.
Dude, I love those chords. Yeah.
Fun stuff.
Yeah, like, gosh, years ago I learned Utterances of the Crawling Dead, and there's some chords in that one that are pretty wild.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah, man. So any other feedback or thoughts, like in terms of like how you might play that tune differently than how I was playing it, or
Well, I would probably play it how I play it.
Sure. Yeah, I just wonder if there's like specific like little things or something like that.
When you get to the open A in the middle of the verses, it's definitely downstrokes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Downstrokes.
Yeah.
Let's see. When we're doing the sevens, some of those are downstrokes. Not all of them, just some of them. It's usually like the last one in the chain, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah. Okay.
Instead of the downstroke on just the bottom string, this is an inversion of it right there. It's the fourth stack, which makes a very nice downstroke too.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah, I think when I was first learning this, I anticipated it being a lot faster because I started this around 140 or 150, and that's super slow, because those chords were just totally foreign to me, total alien stuff. I had to stare at the screen for a while and be like, oh man, down a half step. It just wasn't intuitive for me. So, but that
intuitive.
Exactly, and that's why I learned this stuff, because I get so many fresh ideas from learning a Nile tune or a Hate Eternal tune, or
there's so many cool guitar things in Rattan songs, all the way back to Ripping Corpse. There's little things, little techniques that are just his, right? And a certain way of doing it that if you don't do it that way, it doesn't quite sound like he does it, because that's the character of it, right? Kind of like when you go to a bar and you see a Lynyrd Skynyrd cover band,
right?
And they're playing the songs almost right, but the little things are what bring it to life and give it its flavor. So Eric's stuff is full of those little things that give it evil life.
Evil life. I love that. Sick, man. Yeah, thank you for watching that, and I'm hoping to put together a playthrough of that in the next couple weeks, because I'm probably going to package this into a how to play guitar like Nile video, and it's so amazing to have you be a part of it, man. And this is just so cool. I mean, for me personally, Nile was one of those gateway death metal bands for me. In the early 2000s, and Ithy was, I think, the first one I bought. I bought that at Best Buy, and then a couple years later, the Gods record in 2009, and I kind of didn't listen to Nile for a few years, and then sometime around 2014 or 2015, I was living in Nashville, and I was just working all the time, trying to make more money, basically, and build a life as we
all
do.
got to do it. Yep.
And I spent many nights just driving around Nashville like a maniac, delivering food, listening to Nile. And it freaking saved me, man. It gave me a sense of security and power, that I wouldn't have otherwise experienced. And ultimately, listening to that stuff so often, I can't remember what record was out at the time, but it was sometime around 14, 15, 16. But listening to that stuff, I just was well, why don't I try to play guitar like this? Because I really hadn't. I was more of a progressive kind of guy, more ambient guitar, and and so just by way of listening to Nile and delivering food and just kind of enjoying the music, I was like, man, I really need to up my game and try to play guitar like this. So, you know, it's like one of those things that stays in your head for like more than a decade, where it's like, I want to play guitar like this. Will I ever be able to play guitar like Nile? You know, and it's just, to me, right now, for me, sitting with you playing guitar and talking about this stuff, it's a full circle moment, man. So I just wanted you to know that, you know.
Well, you got here by your own hard work, my friend. So keep up
thanks,
the good work,
dude. That, it means the world to me. Well, you know, I was just curious, like, what you've been doing lately. I know you're going to be going to Latin America in a couple weeks to play in Mexico and some other countries. You know, what have you been up to, man? I'm just curious.
Well, doing stuff to get ready for the tour. Have to. Today I did the carnet, which is, you know, it's no fun. So like the official list of gear that you're taking out of the country and you're going to bring it back in, which because of the ridiculous tariff situation, everything gets scrutinized more now. So
yeah.
You have to have it.
Does does that include like merch as well, or?
No, we don't take our own merch to South America. That would just be prohibitively cost ineffective. Yeah.
Wow.
Plus, they got better shit there anyway. Dude, the best merch that I've ever seen in my life is the bootleg stuff in Mexico City. Right? They have better shit than we do as far as metal merch goes. And it's insanely cheap. And they even have their own T-shirt bootleggers union. Right? So even though it's bootleg, and the band makes no money from it, right? They're out there selling unauthorized shit, but they got the best shit.
That's amazing. That's crazy. I would not expect that. So if a Nile fan goes to see Nile, though, is there like a merch, like, do you hire that out or something like that? It's
spec'd out with the local promoter, and
gotcha.
The stuff they sell inside the building, we get a cut of. But, dude, I'm telling you, the best shit is the illegal stuff in front of the venue. They got the best designs. It's crazy.
Wow. Yeah, I did not expect that.
Me neither.
Yeah,
The first time I went there, it blew my mind. I was like, how can this be?
You're like buying your own merch, you know, for your own band.
Buy my own, for pennies on the dollar, because, you know, everything's cheaper in Mexico.
Yeah.
Right. So, okay, all right, whatever. These dudes are making a living. They're not getting rich. They're just living some metal. So, okay, here we go.
Yeah, interesting, man. That's wild. What are Latin American fans like compared to fans in the States? I mean, obviously they love metal, but is there any kind of, is the crowd response different or anything like that?
Yeah, I would say, you know, South American, Central American audiences are much more enthusiastic. They're full of metal spirit. And, dude, the fans make the show. We play the same songs every day, hopefully.
Yeah.
But it's the audience that makes it awesome. South American audiences are legendary for just being over the top, enthusiastic, full of fire. Man, there's no feeling that even touches that. Nope.
It's amazing, man. That's so cool. Yeah, I would love to go to a show there or play a show at some point there. That's very cool. So as far as like tour preparation for you personally, what does that look like? And then maybe the second half of that is like, what does Nile do as a band to prepare? Do you guys block off like rehearsal dates or anything like that prior to the tour?
Like, it starts a couple weeks before rehearsals, where, you know, it's time to play the set list on your own and practice your own parts, which is really where the homework and the prep pay off. Because the more you do before the guys get there, and this goes for everybody, the easier it is once people go into the band room, because everyone already knows what they're supposed to be doing. You don't have to police anybody, hopefully, going, hey, man, that's not how that riff goes, or no, that drum beat, or whatever the fuck. It's like band rehearsals. They're legendary for that stuff. But hopefully, everybody does their homework, because me and Zach live here in South Carolina. Our bass player Adam lives in Portland. George lives in Athens, Greece. Well, not Athens anymore. He moved. Guy lives on the beach now.
Perfect.
Yeah. But so we have to do a lot of prep work ourselves, so that when we do all get in the same room to rehearse before the tour for a week, sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. Depends on how much new shit we're doing on that tour.
Mm-hmm.
If everybody's done their homework,
everything will go smoothly.
then it goes smooth, and no stress, no headaches. Especially with George living overseas, the prep work becomes even more important, because we won't always have George here. Like, if we're touring the States, George will be here for rehearsal because he's coming here anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So he just comes a few days, a week early, or whatever he can manage. But if we're meeting George somewhere else, since he's originating from Greece, like, we won't see him until we get there. So what we do is play with George's rehearsal tracks. We
That's
play
cool.
them up. That's cool. Yep. It's a thing we came up with years ago that saved us a lot of grief. Like, it used to be we'd bring George over before every tour, which that got to be quite pricey. So we came up with this system. The first time we did it was when we went to India, and I noticed that India show was insanely tight, and it was because we were rehearsing every day to pre-recorded George tracks, not George himself. When you got the drummer in the room with you, you can see him out of the corner of your eye.
Mm-hmm.
When his hand goes for that cymbal, you see it. So even though you're not looking directly at him, it's a peripheral cue that helps you lock on.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you don't turn all the way over to look at the drummer, you still see it out of the corner of your eye. But when he's not there, and it's just some PA speakers sitting back there where the drums are, we call it virtual George. Right? Well, then you have to learn to keep tight just by what you hear, not with any visual cues. So when we played that show in India, it was mad tight, and we didn't even look at George. It was like, wow, man, this feels like Gary Holt or something, like not even looking at what you're doing or your drummer or anything, and just having it nailed, right? So we're like, son of a bitch, this actually works.
That's
It's
awesome.
on now.
Yeah, that's exciting to have a process like this, and I would imagine it's so essential because of just the complexity of the music and the demanding nature of what you guys are doing. Yeah, it's unbelievable, man.
It really helped our vocals, because, like, when you're a death metal band and you're at rehearsal and you got your live drummer there, once you go past do the song 3 or 4 times each, because you're working on your vocal part, we got 3 singers, so we got 3 guys that are doing, it takes coordination, right?
Absolutely.
It's not like when you have one guy. When you got 3 guys, everybody has to be on friggin' point. Well, if you ask your drummer to play the same song 4 or 5 fucking times while you're getting your vocals together, you're going to be met with a drumstick thrown at the back of your head, and rightly so, right? So practicing quite a bit with virtual George. Sometimes we get George here practice, but quite a bit not. You can play that song 50 fucking times. Your drummer's not going to complain.
Yeah.
So you can really, 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 like, we go to boot camp, dude. Boot camp. Like,
I love
we go 8 hours a fucking day.
Hell yeah.
Right? As many times as it takes until we're friggin' happy or exhausted, one or the other.
Man, that's incredible. Now, does Nile play to a click and cues and things like that, like in-ears systems?
George is on the click, but we are not.
Okay.
So we're essentially still playing to George, which is how I like it, because it sounds like people playing together. Sometimes when I hear bands where everybody's on the click, I don't necessarily hear them listening to each other.
Yeah, they're just locked into their head. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And,
but I like feeling connected to my bandmates. There's no greater joy than nailing something together and feeling that energy and power from collectively doing something as a unit. That's, to me, man, that's the part I love.
yeah. I like that. It's kind of a hybrid setup with, using modern technology, using a click and stuff, but you're doing the old school thing where you're listening to your band members. It's kind of like, in a jazz setting, when you're playing rhythm, you're listening to what the soloist is doing, and playing off of that, right? For example.
Mm-hmm. There's times where live George will do it a little bit fucking different, right? Because he's a jazz guy.
Yeah.
So he's all about throw in that crazy fucking thing. And if you're not listening to him, you don't catch it, right? If we were just listening to the click, we'd never appreciate the spontaneity and the feeling that somebody does something and you're right there with them and you change what you're doing, mold it in the moment, together. Dude, that's fucking magic. I'm not giving that part up.
Yeah, because there's something about every show being kind of special and different in its own way, rather than just being on the, on your in-ears every night doing the exact same thing. I mean, obviously, delivering the show consistently is one thing, but getting to the level where you can create something special for the fans every night, that's maybe a little bit different. That's pretty exciting. In my opinion, I think that's the best. So,
well, sometimes it's not intentional. Like sometimes, we're human beings too, and sometimes somebody doesn't do it, 100% exactly like you thought they were going to do it. Like, I've seen, Zach and Brian do like change something in that moment and like heard it, so I adjusted and went with it, and man, wow, that's so much fun.
That's killer, man. That's awesome. Yeah, like my next question is more gear related. First question is, are you still using these like sharp picks like this? Like
no, I am not.
Okay. I was curious because like this is what comes with the Sheet Happens book.
Right. No, I'm not using those anymore.
Okay.
I use these. Boing.
Oh, look at that thing.
Lunar Black. It's the 3mm size. It's got a really nice bevel on it.
Like that.
And a really nice point. And the middle of it is concave. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that.
Oh, I can see it. Yeah.
So it fits right in there so naturally, and it stays there because it's got the carved textures in it.
Yeah. Dude, that's fantastic.
I love these things.
Is that a custom thing, or can people get those anywhere? Or
yeah, Lunar Black.
Lunar Black. Okay, sick. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm a pick snob, so I've got quite a few. I've got bowls and bowls of picks on my desk of all shapes and sizes.
The Sharpie. I mean, we used those for a lot of years. It's a ruthless pick. It's an unforgiving pick.
Yeah.
This thing gets that precise sound, but it's a little bit easier going across the strings.
Absolutely. No, I like those.
It takes about half the work with this thing.
Yeah. Easier to hold a pick that's thicker like that too. than these really thin. Like this has kind of been my daily driver lately.
Right on.
These are great because they're so articulate and they're smaller, but I went through a wrist thing for a while, and it might have been because of the I don't know. I probably because I was working on the Hate Eternal stuff, but I developed like a wrist thing here, and then I started kind of like stretching every day, going to the gym, lifting some weights, and eventually it went away. And I don't know if it's because I built up strength around that muscle or what, but
it'll do too. When you take on somebody else's style and you're using a slightly different set of muscles and tendons and whatnot, it's gonna hurt.
Well, yeah, 100%.
Because you're doing shit that you didn't do before, because you're playing another dude's shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. And as far as like strings, I know on the 7-string it's like 8 to 70 gauge.
Yeah, that's a 70 on the bottom of there.
Okay. And we're in drop A, and you got the 70. What a great tuning, man. It's fun. This happens to be my only guitar that can handle that tuning right now, so it's a baritone. So I've got slightly thinner strings. But yeah, and then I guess my next question is I watched a video recently of yours where you're kind of showing some Synergy amp modules. That are you bringing those live?
Yes, it's great for a fly rig because often even though they'll give you the amp that you ask for most of the time, that doesn't mean it's in great shape.
Yeah.
Or it's, the best possible one out of the kitchen. So with the Synergy preamp, it's modular. It fits in my carry-on. And I just go into the effects return of, whichever Marshall head they give me. And I can get reasonably close. But reasonably close is enough to do the fucking show. Because at least the guitar is reacting like you expect it to.
Yeah.
Right. As many elements as you can have that you're familiar with.
Yeah.
The easier it is to do, your, whatever it is you're doing.
For sure, man. So you're using the Synergy amp models as a preamp, and then just kind of whatever power amp that they have, like in Latin America, like maybe a Marshall or something like that, to drive the cabinets.
Ask for Marshalls and Marshall cabs, and that's a pretty standard item. So you're pretty safe with it. You know what you're going to get.
For sure. Awesome, man. And like as far as like effects and stuff like that, are you bringing like the 2 Notes Torpedo cab loaders to like send to the front of house, or okay?
But, that's another, like, I don't know, what does that thing weigh? 7 or 8 pounds?
Yeah. It's weight.
So I don't take them on fly-in shows. I'll take them when we're touring in Europe. I'll take them when we're touring in the States. But for fly-in shows, old school. 57, right at the sweet spot. There you go.
Got it. Fantastic, man. I got a couple questions about The Underworld Awaits Us All. And I know you guys recorded with Mark Lewis, who I've had the pleasure of meeting him a couple times.
He's an awesome dude.
Great guy to talk about amps with. I mean, he's the amp guy. Like, he just has so many different amps and stuff. I was kind of curious, like, was there a certain amp that Mark had in the studio that you guys gravitated towards with The Underworld Awaits Us All, or did you bring your own amps?
I brought my own.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay.
And, he's... we tried every amp that he has, and he's got some good ones.
Yeah.
Right? But it's kind of reinforced an idea I've had for a long time, but this really just, cemented it in my mind. The amp that you play with while you're tracking is going to be the one that most accurately captures what you were doing when you recorded. The way your hand touched it, whatever grease, whatever palm pressure, all these little things, right? You do a certain way because it feels a certain way, you hear a certain way through this amp in real time, right? When you go and you change it to something else, it may or may not help you, right? But the truest one is going to be the same amp that you tracked with, even though you took a DI with it, right? But the one that you were hearing while you did it, because your hands react in like little minute ways.
Absolutely.
The way you grab the chord, the way you touch the note, the way you strike it, how much flesh is muting the string, or how open it is, or your hand was going this way or that, like 1,000 little things. And it seemed pretty evident to me that I heard all those little things when it was through the same rig that I recorded with. I heard it the same way I played it, right? But as soon as we moved it to something else, it wasn't exactly the same thing. I'm not saying it's better or worse. I'm just saying a different amp reacts a little bit different.
Yeah, for sure. So what amp was that you, is it one of your Splons or?
For the rhythms, it was the Engel Invader heads, which I had retubed right before we started working on that record, so they were fresh.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah. I love it.
And the leads are with my Splon Super Comp head.
And tell me about that amp. What is that modeled after a specific like Marshall thing, or is it its own kind of circuit? Like,
well, it's very much, got Marshall plexi kind of roots, but this is a very modern, hot rodded kind of Marshall kind of thing. It's super articulate and touch responsive. Like when you touch the pick to it, pow, it goes. Especially the quick rod model, which it's a little cleaner. The Nitro's got more gain. It's a little more compressed than the quick rod. Quick rod's got no compression on it. It's like you bang, man. It fires like. But the Nitro, you can use it for modern metal because it's got a very controlled bottom end. It's very thick, very touch responsive. Oh, it sounds so freaking good. Scott Splon does great things with tube amps. I feel really lucky.
Yeah.
He only lives an hour away from my house.
Killer,
so
man.
I can just go up to the shop and go, hey, man, how's it going?
That's amazing, dude. Yeah, I know you've used those for years and said great things about them, and I've only come across them every so often because they are kind of a boutique thing that you just don't see as much. And I guess more recently I finally got a tube amp again. I've been using like modelers, and I don't play a ton of shows. I want to play more shows, but I recently just got a 6505 Plus for like $800, and put some new tubes in it.
That's the one with the EL34s in it, right?
This one's got the 6L6 tubes in it.
Okay.
I think that's the 6534.
Right. Okay. Yeah, you're right.
And it was the one that was made in Mississippi, not the newer ones that are made in China. I've heard good things about the 5150 Iconic, but I'm like a big fan of the American made stuff, that's made just down the road in Mississippi, which unfortunately they don't do that anymore. So I wanted an older one. So yeah, man. I got a couple just kind of funny, quick questions for you. that
Whatever you want, dude.
are related to Egypt. So, do you know who Graham Hancock is? Are you familiar with him?
Of course I know who Graham Hancock is. You know, Ancient Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Graham Hancock.
Yeah, man. I was just curious, what you think about him, and he's got these theories about, Egypt being a lot older than we think that it is, with the flood theory around the Sphinx, the Sphinx
He's
in
not
particular.
the only guy to popularize that idea, and I think it has a certain resonance. Years ago, I had read a book by this guy named Richard E. Mooney, who's kind of like who's the guy who wrote Chariots of the Gods? He's kind of in that vein, but this was like back in the 60s.
Yeah.
Right? And he had a lot of the same ideas that Hancock does, where, when the Ice Age thawed, right, a lot of things happened. A lot of things took place. And Egypt inherited their civilization from something that came before.
Yeah.
According to Richard Mooney.
Interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of fascinating theories. I'm into that stuff totally, man. And I to the point where history is probably not the way that we were. The reality of history is probably a little different than what we were taught in school. Growing up.
Probably.
Yeah.
Right? As an adult, right, nowadays living in the States, we don't even know what's going on in our own motherfucking country. Because you watch this news channel, it says something completely different from this other news channel. So, if you go back, 5 or 10,000 years, is there really much hope of really ever getting a grasp on whatever the fuck was going on? I kind of doubt it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, man. And I particularly enjoyed your liner notes in the Vile Nilotic Rights record. You went into a lot of detail with each song. I don't remember a lot of what you wrote. I'll have to look at it again, but I appreciated the attention to detail and where the background behind some of these song concepts. I just think that's so cool that you did that. So.
Back around the time of when we were making Black Seeds of Vengeance, Immolation came through Greenville. They stayed at my house, and there was a guest track that I wanted Ross to sing on. It was going to go on the Black Seeds of Vengeance record, right? So I was trying to explain to Ross what the lyrics were about, right? Which was 5 minutes of an explanation, because he wanted to know. He said, man, if I'm going to do a good job with this, I should know what the fuck it's about. So I told him. And Ross and Pop, both of them, as soon as I finished this long explanation of what the song was about, they were like, dude, you should put that in Nile records. You should put that on liner notes, because fans will want to know this fucking stuff. So I went, these motherfuckers are right.
Dude, it's fascinating. It's very interesting to me, and the ancient civilization stuff is really fascinating, especially the more recent revelations about the pyramids and the potential that they're energy creators, and the top of the pyramid had a gold capstone, and we were taught that they were tombs, right? But now we're learning that it's much more than a tomb, potentially. So
I don't think we'll ever really know the truth.
Yeah, fair enough, man. Yeah.
Which I think, that's poetic license, right? So if you're going to write about something, it's fertile soil to take insane death metal liberties with. Even though I'm writing about stuff that, through our understanding, it's historical, there's still a lot of poetic license, especially the Old Kingdom stuff, where less is written about it. Mm-hmm. The less that's written, there's more of the in-between spaces to go, well, maybe they meant this, or maybe they meant that.
Right.
All right. So if we have the choice between this brutal thing, this awful, terrible Lovecraftian interpretation, or the safe, sanitized version, well, which one's going to go on a death metal record?
The first one. Yeah. Yeah.
first
Hell
one.
yeah, bro. Yeah. Well, and I think that's why I love Nile so much, man, is you take the liberties of making this music, and it has such a depth of meaning to it, and it's like opening up a history book when you listen to a Nile record. and I just think that's so cool. And there's music to go along with it, and it happens to be the most progressive and extreme stuff to listen to. And every time I listen to a Nile record, I hear something different that I didn't recognize before.
They got good replay value, like a video game that's got a lot of depth to it.
Sure.
Right? And it has resonance, like Doom, right? Doom Eternal, Doom Dark Ages, right? There's a lot of resonance. They put a lot of work.
Oh yeah, the early
into
Doom games. Oh my god,
creating this world, right? Worlds. And that's how I like to do things, right? If you're going to do something, well, let's think about it and go, what could we do with it?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah. So you got to be able to listen to it more than once, right? There's songs that I can remember writing that have less replay value.
Sure.
And I'm like, well, was there any point to that? You know, I think fans deserve something that they can listen to as many times as they find, value in it or get something from it. Or
Yeah.
it means something to them.
Exactly. Well, I know it's almost time to go, or past time to go. My final question is, what are you excited about in 2026? What's coming up this year that you're particularly stoked about, man, that maybe you want to let fans know, and anything along those lines?
We're doing this thing in South America. We're working on a U.S. tour for August and September. And we're going to Europe in October, November. But really, dude, I'm just thrilled with this new bunch of guys we're working with.
Yeah.
Zach is an incredibly talented guitarist. Dude, and we play so well together. It's like, it's effortless with Zach. I don't have to beat him over the head to get him to do, things a certain way, because he already understands Nile, right? He understands what it needs and how it needs to be played. And the little things, the idiosyncratic nihilisms, right? He's just a great guy to work with. Dude, he's an incredible player and incredible talent. I'm thrilled to be working with him. I thank God every day for him. And Adam.
What a monster. Yeah.
What a monster.
Great player.
George is just an incredible talent.
Yeah.
He's been with us 22 years this year.
Incredible. I love him, man. Yeah, George, a huge George fan, man. Like watching those drum videos back in early YouTube days, like those are like burned into my memory. The swivel foot thing. Now you got a lot of guys that are going from doubles, doing the heel toe, and they want to do swivel foot because it's more badass, if you will. It's more because you can hit harder, right? So
it's metal. Right?
Exactly, dude. Yeah, people are
to have.
Yeah. Yes.
Power.
So, well, Karl, I could talk to you for hours and hours, man. I feel like we barely scratched the surface. But man, thank you so much for doing this.
Well, thank you, dude. It was a lot of fun. I love your videos.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff. And when you did the video about the pick stop drill, I was like, this guy knows a pick stop drill.
Yeah,
oh my God.
Yeah.
It's the first thing I do when I pick up my pick stop drill.
Heck yeah,
Except
man.
we didn't call it that. We had another name for it, but it's the same thing.
What's the other name for it?
I don't even remember because it's been 35 years since my teacher Tim Hayden showed it to me.
Wow.
The same thing though, right? 'Cause you're doing it, and as soon as you cross the string, you're firing backwards, right? So that the pick never leaves the string. It's this way, it's that way.
Yep. Yeah, it helps dial in the muscle memory, and I like the term pick stop drill a lot. That might be, I might have to start using that instead of, I call
You
it
might have to trademark that name.
Yeah, well, you might have to.
I didn't come up with that name.
Okay.
You did.
Okay. Well, fair enough, man. Well, gosh, man, this was what a joy, and I look forward to seeing on Instagram, you know, the stuff going on in Latin America with you guys ripping shows down there, and if you're ever in Nashville, man, you're welcome to come over, and we can do an in-person thing, shred sessions.
That'd be a lot of fun.
Be
'cause
cool.
I'm coming up Nashville way sometime after the tour because I have some studio monitors that need repairing. So I'll be in town.
Yeah, come hang out. We'll check out some guitar stores or something, man. Or my wife will cook you a nice meal, or we'll go out and get some steaks or whatever. It would just be awesome.
Steaks.
So,
yeah, let's go get some steaks.
Heck yeah. Well, dude, thanks a lot, man. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Man.
It's been a lot of fun, Drew.
Thanks, dude.